What Daniel Dark held in his hands immediately induced strange sensations: wonder, confusion, dread. It was a glass sphere like a crystal ball, black red in color. Upon its surface was an embossed symbol, a kind of a trident. For glass, it was remarkably warm. It was then he realized that the orb was not made of red glass. The redness was coming from what it encased within. His hands were tingling even more than before. There was a hissing sound. The heat from his hands was eating into the material of the sphere. Daniel watched, open-mouthed, as the outlines of each of his hands sank slowly into the glass, as though melting their way through it. An electrified glow traced his fingers as the orb continued to distort until detonation. Everything became dreamlike, intense, pure, and terrifyingly beautiful. What had exploded out from the sphere was blood, human blood. It covered the walls, the television, the flotsam on the floor, and Daniel himself. The crimson-black liquid draped itself over him, hot and heavy, hot as though freshly spewed from a living victim. Some of it touched his lips, and much entered his shocked, open mouth, oozing its way down his throat. Daniel fell quickly into a trance. No longer was he in his bedroom. Now he was in another place, dark, airy, a place where gravity was scarce. A dream? Or have I gone somewhere? I think I have. I'm still in my bedroom, but part of me is now here, in this other place. In this dimensional capsule, everything was different. He was different. Alertness peaked like an animal caught in a trap. Newly blossoming instincts told him he was about to hear the voice that would change his life. But it was Daniel who spoke first. "Who are you?" He had been aware of the dark being from the moment he had entered his new realm. As though his eyes were adjusting to the darkness, he was not able to see the entity he knew to be there. It seemed as if the entity was all around him, even inside him. Was this being actually here? Daniel wasn't sure of anything anymore, but he knew this was important. He had to listen. "You know me," the blackness said simply. It was true. Daniel did know him. Him. Somehow, Daniel instinctively knew that the force around him was masculine, at least in some way. How he knew such a creature was another question. He wasn't afraid, only intensely curious. He wanted, needed to find out more. One fact was clear. You're my father, the one from my dreams." "Yes," the being said, its deep voice reverberating. "Your true father. Those who you think are your parents are imposters. They have kept the truth from you, young blood, the truth of what you are." "And what am I?" "Your baptism has begun a process which will reveal everything to you." Daniel had to stop and think. The entity allowed this, having infinite patience. A baptism, he thought. A baptism of blood? It's horrifying, but it makes sense. I know this creature from my dreams, and I know what I am, but I'm afraid to think it or say it. "How can you be my father?" Daniel demanded, looking left, right, and all around. "I can't even see you. Why don't you let me see you?" "In our realm, we can assume many forms." "What is this place? How did I get here?" "You have been able to cross over to this dimension because you are part of me." Daniel looked down at himself. He had not changed. He could still see his hands, his arms, his clothes, even his Sunday morning bare feet with their dirty toenails. He was still Daniel Dark. "I'm not anything like you," Daniel insisted angrily. "Deny yourself, and you deny your heritage." "Heritage?" the boy echoed, anger digging in its claws. "What heritage? I need to know more." "Only the key will allow you to find your blood family."